AM 1400 KBCH, hanging out in Lincoln City. We are preparing for dedications for Relay, and of course, lots of people have called in with dedications and requests. Again, 994-2181 or KEITH at kbcham.com. If you want to send me an email, you can go to facebook.com/dedications and leave your requests there. We have been sponsored by a number of great folks. One group of great people are the group at White Moon Productions. And part of White Moon Productions is our own Halie Loren, who's on the phone live from Eugene. Good morning.
Good morning.
How are you?
I'm doing quite well. Thank you.
I've been on the road with you, and my listeners know that as well. So this sounds like a morning that you've already had your coffee.
Chai tea, soy latte.
Chai tea, soy latte.
I'm such an Oregon girl.
Chai tea, soy latte. We should do that. I should get that name for you here in town as you approach your appearance here in Lincoln City. You've been here before. You were here a couple of Decembers ago. You, of course, come to the Oregon coast regularly. What are you looking forward to coming back to playing at the Cultural Center? You and I were both there, of course, and we sold the place out. Good, nice place to play.
Yes, it is. It's quite lovely. Very nice big stage, great seating, and of course the audience is great. So that always makes us very happy.
Well,
and we're excited to come back, and I believe it's with our full band this time. So with our quartet.
Well, it's going to be great to have you back, and of course, for those people who are Halie Loren fans, you have a live CD called Stages that was recorded primarily here on the Oregon coast at Eden Hall, just a few miles south of where we sit here at this radio station. Now, you just came back, and I know this, and the listeners know this as well, from a Japanese tour, which is, for you, was record-breaking.
Indeed, it was. Not only because of the heat, because that certainly felt like a breaking records for us. From Oregon, it's always kind of hard to stumble into super hot, humid climate, but it's beautiful. And we saw a new city. We saw Osaka this time, as well as Tokyo and Nagoya, which is where we've been before. And we had record-breaking attendance. We had sold-out shows in Tokyo, all of them, and some really amazing turnouts all throughout, and it felt so great to go back and with our record doing so well in Japan, and a lot of enthusiasm.
Now I know that I've heard people ask you this question, and you were very, very successful in Japan. That is your biggest country so far. Why is it that you think that the Japanese folks have understood you, have gotten what you're trying to do quicker than the rest of the world?
Well, that's a good question. That's kind of the golden question. It's something that I can't quite put my finger on as far as how it gained traction in the first place. But my theory of why it connects with Japanese audiences and in such a big way is I think that no matter what the language, whether or not it's somebody understands the words that an artist is speaking or singing, people can sense authenticity, and I think that the music that we do is, it's a lot of things, but one of the big factors for us is that it comes from our hearts, and we really mean it, and I really mean what I sing, and I think people know that. We definitely get response to that, and our fans really love us for that.
You're cutting through all the whatever and just getting to the reality of the songs, the core of the songs, and certainly they know that you spend a lot of time not only with your originals, which we'll talk about in a second, but taking some great songs and rearranging them, put your own special stamp on that, which I think they certainly appreciate. And I want to let people know, and Halie doesn't talk about it as much as I do, but Halie Loren and her band and this new album, Simply Love, which will be available in America on September 10th, is and has been #1 in Japan on the Billboard Jazz charts there. And for those of you even close to the music world, if it's number one in Billboard, it's number one. How do you feel about that? Number one in Billboard.
It's a pretty thrilling thing. It's definitely a first for us, and so at first I felt like, really? Wait.
Yeah.
You mean us? Kind of that sense of disbelief in a good way, being really pleasantly shocked and surprised. Just it's one of those things where it feels kind of like a really wonderful culmination of so many years of hard work. And of course, they're all fleeting things. So we're enjoying it while we can, because you never really know. But we're certainly glad that rare kind of experience happened to us this time around, and it feels, for Simply Love, the new album, it definitely feels like our best one yet. And so I feel really proud of the fact that it got the recognition that it did.
Well, the bottom line is anyone who does art and anything, if you do your job well, you are an artist. To being recognized like that is truly a great thing to remember, and it's something you'll remember the rest of your life. I mean, certainly, I think you've got more number ones in your career, and I think the listeners would agree with that. But right now, number one Billboard, that's not bad. And ladies and gentlemen, come September 10th, let's make her number one Billboard Jazz Chart in America. Sounds like a good thing. Let's talk about Simply Love. You took a little extra time to record it, and it certainly shows. Give the listeners, since they've heard a few things on AM 1400, but give people the theme. What were you thinking about when you put the songs together?
I was thinking about some common thread themes of a brighter, lighter side of life, and of the sweetness of love, and really savoring life.
Mm-hmm.
I thought about what I would want the mood to be listening to this album in the sunny, beautiful summer months, and kind of that feeling of that sense of freedom and enjoyment of life and new love and such, and infusing the record with that, so that even if it's being listened to any other time of the year, it kind of gives the sense of that lighthearted, bright way of being.
Good way to look at it. And let's start off with what we're talking about. And I was thinking about the song. You've written a few of your own songs on the record, and we of course we're talking about dedications for Relay. The song "Bare Feet," which we have played on this radio station, the first line, and I want to make sure I get it right. What's the line?
It's a good day to celebrate your life.
It's a good day to celebrate your life, which, as I have heard it before, I'm thinking dedications for Relay for life. It just fits in perfectly. Give me an idea what you were thinking about when you wrote that.
Well, it was in part, of course, inspired by, and some people already know this story, but probably not most of your listeners. I've traveled back and forth to Hawaii quite a bit over the past few years to perform, mostly, although I was able to sneak a little bit of vacation time in there, of course. But there's a feeling that I would get every time I would be there of just kind of all of the rest of the world falling away, and really feeling like I could center myself in the joy of being alive, and had just such a happy feeling, particularly when I was spending time on the sand and the sound of the waves and the ocean and the sand. It's just such a great feeling, and I thought, well, what would that be like if I captured it in a bottle? What would it be like if it were captured in a song? And so that's what kind of inspired the direction of that song. I wrote it with a friend of mine named Rick Chudikoff, but I didn't have the words for a very long time. We just had this melody and this music. And so then the words suddenly came to me after I got back from my last time touring in Japan in January. But really the song, it doesn't have to specifically be about a place, such as Hawaii. It can really be about a frame of mind of taking the time to really find beauty and enjoyment and all the good parts of the human experience, and make time for those in your life.
I think it captures it perfectly, and you're right. Is it something we need to celebrate every day? There was a great John Lennon line life is what happens when you're busy making plans.
Right.
And you know, this kind of goes into that, is that, you know, now, celebrate your life now. Let's hear it. It's Bare Feet from Simply Love from Halie Loren.
It's a good day to celebrate your life. Sun in the sky, shining away your strife. Leave all your sit-ups and good-as, you don't need them now. Too much fuss, always worse. Cancel your plans, put on your funny hat. Head to the shore, a sandy welcome mat. See all the people, they had the same brilliant idea. Kick off those city shoes and those uptight blues, yeah. Whether from near or far, it's worth a trip to feel so free to be you once again. No matter who you are, you can't leave your unique impression wherever you stand, with your bare feet in the sand. It's easy to think your work is never through. A good swim in the sea will change your point of view. 'Cause when you're happy, you'll see the world smiling your way. Go on and float along to your carefree song, yeah. Whether from near or far, it's worth a trip to feel so free to be you once again. No matter who you are, you can leave your unique impression wherever you stand, with your bare feet in the sand. Smiling your way. Go on and float along to your carefree song, yeah. Whether from near or far, it's worth a trip to feel so free to be you once again. No matter who you are, you can leave your unique impression wherever you stand, with your bare feet in the sand. Whether from near or far, it's worth a trip to feel so free to be you once again. No matter who you are, you can leave your unique impression wherever you stand, with your bare feet in that. Oh, go on and warm your toes in that, yeah. With your bare feet in the sand. Crossing you in style someday. Oh, dream maker, you heartbreaker, wherever you're going, I'm going your way to dream. such a lot of world to see. We're after the same rainbows and waiting round the bend, my huckleberry friend, Moon River and me. Off to see the world. There's such a lot of world to see. We're after the same rainbows and waiting round the bend. Oh, my huckleberry friend, Moon River and me. And me.
It's AM 1400 KBCH. Keith Altshuber here with you. And we just heard from Halie Loren from the new album Simply Love, which is due on September 10th. We heard Bare Feet first, and we heard Moon River. Halie will be in town here in Lincoln City on August 17th. Tickets are on sale right now by calling 541-994-9994. Lots of nines there. Or stop by the Cultural Center to pick up your tickets. You get to save $2 in advance by buying the tickets in advance. And I'm betting you there will be no tickets at the door, so get your tickets right now. Halie is sitting at home in Eugene playing. Now, you're playing with your cat. Your cat's there with you.
I have two wonderful cats, and one of them has decided she wants to take up residence on my foot while I'm talking to you on the phone.
and that cat's name is what?
Her name is Amber.
Amber. Well,
She's amber eyes. They're just so gorgeous.
We like Amber, and we're glad Amber is perhaps we'll get her listening to AM 1400 really soon.
I think she's a fan already.
I'm glad that she is. Tell us, we played a song that you wrote. We played Bare Feet, of course, and we played Moon River after that. What was the reason that Moon River made it to the CD?
Well, Moon River is one of those songs that I've always found a lot of magic in it, and I hadn't ever attempted my own version of it until earlier this year, and that song always was so mysterious to me and so nostalgic, but I didn't know why. And then I read about the lyrics and what they were written about, and they were inspired by a childhood friendship. And I just thought, wow, that is so fitting, and maybe that's why it brings me to sort of this place of happy tears almost every time I hear it. It's a song that just makes me think about sort of the times in my life when I've been sort of thirsting for an adventure that I knew was waiting, but I didn't quite know how to get there. And there's a certain feeling attached to that. It almost feels like a movie scene, a really poignant movie scene. And so that was really the simple, dreamy feeling that we wanted to capture in the song, and so that's why we did it just with Matt Treader on piano and me, to really strip it down to its essential emotional core.
It's interesting that you say that. I mean, Moon River was a song that you loved, but you just didn't know why you loved it. You just loved it, and then you researched it, and, oh, okay, now I get it, right?
Yeah. Well, I mean, you know, understanding about the line of Huckleberry Friend and all of that, and I thought, well, what is that about? Like, is that a reference to a book? And turns out it wasn't. Turns out it was the name of one of the writers' best childhood friends, or his nickname. And so I thought,
okay,
that's really a sweet personal thing, and I don't know, made me feel even closer to it.
I like that. I like that. And I mentioned to you personally, I've not really been that big a fan of the song until I've heard you introducing it live in concert, and that made me dive back in and listen to it. And it makes me think, musically, this is just an aside, is how many songs that I have missed, because I adore music, as do you as well. How many songs have I missed because I didn't give it enough listens, didn't give it a chance to invade my world and just be there. And Moon River, until you introduced it, was probably one of those songs. So it's nice that it's, in addition to the record, again, Simply Love, coming out on September 10th, 13 songs, 3 originals from you, and 10. When you change a song, when you adapt it, what do you call it? Do you revamp it? What do you put your own stamp to it? Is there a certain phrase you put to it?
I've used a lot of phrases for that particular thing. It's funny, I don't have a specific like a new term coined for it, but I have to say we borrow them and we renovate them.
Right.
we shift a few things around. Sometimes we structurally change the whole thing, so it goes from pretty subtle to pretty drastic sometimes.
Well, you're well known for revamping Whiter Shade of Pale from Procol Harum. I mean, that is a big song. Concert requests and reviewers just love that song. It
tends to get a lot of YouTube placements too. Like, it's in a lot of different things. Been in a lot of different fan videos, and everywhere we play it, no matter where we are around the world, people know that song. They remember it from. Now it's on classic rock stations, of course, but it was a huge hit back in the day, 60s, and I think that it gets a lot of people nostalgic. There's that word again. That's a trigger with music, though. So much of music brings you back to where you were when you heard it.
Well,
and I think it's mysterious enough and poetic enough to where you can assign all kinds of meanings to it, and it has such a captivating melody, and it really is just one of those songs that never loses its magic.
And I love, and the listeners are going to love when I mention this. It's when you mentioned back in the day. Well, that was my day. that was the listener's day, and it's reminding me of being on tour with you and your band and the bassist Mark Schneider, who happens to be older than me, but it's back in our days.
Yeah, well,
I'm remembering.
It's in our day too now.
Well, indeed. Let us finish, and again, we're with Halie Loren. We're talking about her record and her upcoming concert on August 17th at the Cultural Center here in town in Lincoln City. LOVE, the world's greatest spelling lessons. Tell us about that.
LOVE. Well, that's one of those classic, super cute jazz songs that everybody seems to know. And I've been listening to that since I was tiny, since I was maybe 7 or 8 years old. And my mom used to play a lot of Nat King Cole records, and he was my favorite. Still is. I think he's probably still the top of my vocalist list of all time. But everything he touched turned to gold. And that was just a song that always really charmed me a lot. It's so simple and cutesy, but Nat King Cole already did, in my opinion, like the exemplary swing version of this song. And so we thought we'd take it and do something really fun with it, which was make it into a samba. And lo and behold, it worked. Actually, we performed it in our first tour of Japan as a band, and introduced it there. And then it ended up on our album, and it's been our most so far our most downloaded single from Simply Love in Japan. So it's kind of interesting how that went a little bit full circle. But I think it's a really sweet, simple song that everybody knows the words to.
Indeed. The world's greatest spelling lesson, ladies and gentlemen, musically, Love, from Simply Love and Halie Loren at AM 1400.
L is for the way you look at me, and O is for the only one I see. V is so very, very extraordinary, and E is even more than anyone that you adore can. Love is all that I can give to you. Oh, and love is more, it's more than just a game for two. Two in love can make it, or take my heart, but please don't break it, love. Love was made for me and you. Extraordinary, and E is even more than anyone that you adore can. Love is all I can give to you. Oh, and love is so much more than a game for two. Two in love can make it, take my heart, but please don't break it, love. Love is made for me and you. Yeah, I said that love is made for me and you.
It's AM 1400. Halie Loren, Keith Altsmer with you, having some fun on the radio. And again, Halie, coming up August 17th at the Lincoln City Cultural Center, and 994-9994. Halie and White Moon Productions, one of the big sponsors for Dedications for Relay. They have donated $25 or more as a business. If you are a business interested, give us a call, 541-994-2181, or you can visit facebook.com/dedications, and we will promote the heck out of you and your business, and certainly all the money goes to Relay for Life. Halie Loren has you've supported Relay for Life in a number of different towns, haven't you?
I have, yeah. I mean, it's definitely a great cause, and the one that I believe in very much. And I love the community participation that always happens with Relay for Life.
And well, if I'm correct, you supported Relay for Life was it New York State that you offered to do a song for someone?
New York. I'm trying to remember.
That you were going to do a song.
Yes. No, it was. Yes, it was. I was trying to remember the place of that, but I think it was on the East Coast.
Yeah, I think it was upstate New York or something like that.
I think you're right. You remember better than I do.
Well, that's part of my job. That's part of what I try and do. So occasionally I can pull it from somewhere. But the bottom line is Halie and Relay for Life. Halie has donated signed T-shirts in the past here for dedications for Relay and Relay for Life, and we certainly appreciate all her support. Halie doesn't get away from the radio without asking the question that has frozen people not nearly as smart as Halie Loren. And the question, and we've asked our listeners this all the time, and people think about it, and it's a very easy question to ask, but a very difficult question to answer. And the question, which my answer is American Pie from Don McLean, and the question is, what has been the greatest song written since the day you were born? Halie is a lot younger than I am, almost half my age. So we were talking when we were off air about the question. You may not have one answer. Do you have a couple of answers?
Well, yes. The thing is I have a huge list of songs that really touch me. Okay. And as a songwriter, it's also, I kind of like to analyze songs that I would never have thought of writing that song. Like there's a lot of things that delight me about songs that, besides just how they make me feel. Mm-hmm. And so that's a really, really hard question. But I'll list a few of them. Okay, sure. Ones that I just have always been really moved by, or just never get tired of hearing. Okay. One of them is a song that breaks my heart every single time I hear it, which is "And So It Goes" by Billy Joel. Okay. And as you probably know already, Keith, Regina Spektor is one of my favorite new artists and songwriters. And there are two songs of hers that just, one of them rips my heart out and the other one puts it back in. Okay. And I love her to Samson, which is, I think, her one of the sweetest ballads. And actually, speaking of Relay for Life, I think that the basis of that song is that the love interest in it has cancer, and the experiences of her loving somebody who's going through that experience. And that even broke my heart more.
And just to let everybody know, the song is Samson. Mm-hmm. Okay, from Regina Spektor. And then
the other song of hers that I would have to name is "On the Radio."
On the Radio.
So love it.
All right.
It's quirky and strange and wonderful and so true.
Always love this question because as when I do my dedications and when I do my requests, people pull out songs that I go, oh yeah, that's right. And then what's great about it, Halie, and you don't know this, we get cards and we get emails, etc., especially on my birthday, which was in June, of people just saying thank you for playing different songs. People don't always love all the songs, but it reminds people of songs that maybe they forgot about and would love again, or new songs. And Regina Spektor would be a perfect example. I think the only song I've played from on the radio is a song called "Us," which is from the movie 500 Days of Summer, and which I adore that song. And but we are going to play those songs, of course, for dedications for Relay, and dedicate them to all the caregivers, as you said, and certainly your donation for dedications for Relay will be that music that we play.
Oh, wonderful!
So we're going to do that again. You're going to see Halie in town August 17th. Here, she gets to come back to the Oregon coast, and we're excited to have her at the Lincoln City Cultural Center. Again, 541-994-9994. Get tickets. They will sell out, and you will want to see her because I'm thinking she's going to play a ukulele on stage. Correct or incorrect?
I might have to.
Yeah, well, we have now determined that you will play the ukulele on stage. So, Halie Loren, as always, I enjoy every minute I'm with you, and especially when we get you on the radio here at AM 1400.
Thanks so much for having me, Keith.
So much.
Thank you.
Okay.